Hey Resurrection, we finally have the opportunity to come back to in-person worship. But before we can do that, there's a couple of things that we need to know. One, you've got to register for the service. Now, I'm going to cover that a little later in the video because the second thing, and one of the most important things, is we've got some safety protocols that we have to follow to keep everybody safe and healthy. So, once you arrive at church after you've registered, we need to make sure that we have our mask on. How do we put our mask on? Well, I've got some volunteers. Isabel, is that how we wear a mask? Yeah. Come on over here so they can see you. Is that how we wear a mask? No. Hey, Libby, come here. Is that how we wear a mask? No, definitely not. Becca, is that how we wear a mask? No. Absolutely no. All right, everybody come here and let's show how do we properly wear our mask. Come on, everybody together. How's it go? Over our nose, over our mouth, and over our chin. We want to make sure to keep that covered the entire time that we are here before we get inside and as we exit the building. That way we're protecting everybody. But we also want to make sure that we keep 6 feet of distance, which is about a body length. So Becca is about 6 feet of distance away from me. So we want to maintain, not with our family group, but with everybody else, make sure that we maintain 6 feet of distance as we come, as we go, and as you'll see in a minute, as we sit inside. So all of the protocols we're going to cover in this video are available on goresurrection.com. There's a tab there to register. There's a tab there for safety protocols. Again, we'll cover registration in a bit, but let's head up to the door and get ready to head inside. All right, we're just about ready to go inside. We've got our mask on. The next thing that's going to happen is an usher is going to check your temperature before you come inside. Of course, they're going to check the registration list. Again, we'll cover registration at the end of the video. They're going to check the registration list. They're going to check your temperature. And then as you head inside, there's a couple things you'll want to see to be ready to make your way to your seat. So let's head on inside. All right, as you come inside, there are a few things that'll look a little bit different in the narthex. Communion will be handed to you if you've participated in the outside service, or if you've been watching our videos online of Worship Weekly. You'll notice that there's a small little pre-packaged communion. The wine is on one side, the bread wafers on the other. The ushers will provide those to you so that you can participate in communion as we do that. The other thing, there will be hand sanitizer, so make sure you wash your hands on your way in, on your way out. And then the offering, we won't be able to pass the offering plate like we haven't been able to do these last few months, but there will be an offering plate on a table as you come in the door and as you exit, and so you are welcome to place that offering there in the offering plate as you go. All right, well, let's continue on inside. As you come inside the sanctuary, the ushers will help seat you. You'll notice something a little different. There's some ropes on some of the pews, and there's also a little bit of rope in the center of the pew. To make sure that everybody stays safe, along with keeping our mask on the whole time, we need to sit separated and socially distanced throughout the service. So you're going to want to make sure that you go to a row that is open to sit, and so we'll be spaced every other row and then side to side. So Livy will give us an example. If she comes in and sits down, she's going to have a seat here. And then if I come and sit down, I can sit over there. So you're going to want to make sure that you're spaced out from each other. You can sit with your whole family, but make sure that you stay separated from the other folks that are in here. Now, as the service begins, there's a couple of things that are going to look a little bit different. There won't be any bulletins, and there'll be no congregational singing. As you'll notice, everything's been taken out of the pews, the hymnals, the connect cards, the offering envelopes. So there'll be, and no pens or pencils. And so you'll want to enjoy the service by just kind of keeping silent. If you want to hum, you can do that. If you want to snap your fingers, if you want to put your hands up, if you want to, however you want to worship throughout the service is fine. Just remember, no singing and no responding during the congregational response times to minimize any aerosolized spread happening even while we have our mask on. And then during communion, what's going to happen is the pastor will be saying the words of institution. You can open your elements in your prepackaged set of elements. We'll all participate in communion together. And then the ushers are going to come down the center aisle and up the side aisles with little trash cans, and they'll collect your family group's set of communion cups that are remaining after we have taken the elements together. Once the service ends, here's what we have to do. It's, again, going to look a little bit different. We're going to exit from the back of the sanctuary to the front. The ushers will help guide that, and the pastor will remind us of that. And take our time getting out and making sure that we're staying spaced out from one another as we exit. So it'll take a little bit longer than it normally might have taken to get out, but you'll want to keep that space and that distance as we exit the sanctuary. Now, another thing that's going to feel and look a little bit different is once we get out of the sanctuary, we also need to make our way out of the narthex into the outside. You're welcome to talk to each other outside, but we want to make sure that we're outside and away from doors so that people are able to leave and keep that safe distance. So now let's take a look at how we register to participate in the service, and we look forward to seeing you on Sunday. All right, so here's how we register to be able to participate in the in-person service. So if you go to goresurrection.com, right on that home page, there's a slide that explains that we are coming back to in-person worship with one traditional service. On that slide, there's a button on the left that says registration and a button on the right that says safety protocols. You can follow those safety protocols, which we just covered in the video, but that'll give you a written version of that. But that button on the left is the registration button. And if you click that button, it's going to take you to a page that will allow you to register to participate in the service. As you'll see there, there's an arrow pointing to the register button. You're going to click the register button, and then that's going to take you to a page where you're going to put how many people are coming. If you have just yourself, or you have 5 people in your family, whatever number of people that are coming in your family group, that's what you're going to want to put there. So 1, 2, 5, whatever it is, make sure you put the actual number of people that are coming to participate in the in-person service as part of your family group. Once you've put that number in, at the bottom of that screen, you're going to see an option to continue to the next screen. And when you do, it's going to ask for that contact information. You're going to put first names, last names, email addresses, phone numbers. Here's why. If for some reason we need to reach out to you because something has happened or something has been canceled, we want to be able to let you know. So make sure you put your name, your first, last name, your email address, your phone number, all that contact information that's required to fill out. And then at the bottom of that screen, you're going to submit that registration to participate in the service. So make sure you do all of those steps to be able to participate, and then follow all the things we've covered in this video ahead of time, as well as in the option to click that link there on the website, and you can look at that stuff in the written document. But make sure you follow all of those steps as you participate in our return to in-person worship.